what's happening over there? I'm trying to get up myself here, and we got Chris
Sweet.
joining us in a few. Hello, Jay. How are you?
What's happening with you? Where's our little broski in South Africa?
I know, I know.
Nice to
I'm
meet you.
so excited to have
Yeah.
you on. I was actually late starting the show because I was listening to a message from Chris talk about how I could probably benefit a lot from what you're going to talk about today because of my issues I'm having. And we got another person that wants to join. Oh,
Yeah, there'll probably be a lot of people come in. I just went and nailed it fast. So
awesome. Yeah, people usually join during the process.
yep.
Fireside is exclusive, so you have to go through the vetting and kind of get.
But it'll go up onto your YouTube channel as it's live up on there. Is that how that works? Or
It's live right now.
okay, well, I just blasted that out to 10,000 people.
Oh my God, that's so awesome. Great. Your energy, I almost felt like, wow, am I going to be able to do this? Because I've had a day. Am I going to be able to do this? Because he's got great, great, great energy. And I'm already feeling good.
It's the smile. That's what it is. It's the smile.
It's the energy. You have great energy. You've got it going on. And Chris, what's this brother thing? Are you guys really brothers?
We're not real brothers, but I treat him like my brother, and I love
Yeah.
him like a brother, and I'd do anything for him, and I am, and he Ashley. So Ashley's second podcast was with Chris, the recovery couple, which is kind of interesting. Today we it's been 2 years since the recovery couple has been launched. So that's Ashley and I. So today I just got a memory up on Facebook saying that Ashley and I have been the recovery couple for 2 years, which is insane.
Awesome.
I mean, you're going to probably want to have Ashley and I on here at some point because Ashley has an amazing story and what the recovery couple is doing. We have a TV series here in Canada. Yeah, you'll see. Like I am. I don't know how much more I could get into what I do, but it's
Hey,
just,
you know what? We're sober. We can do anything, right?
yeah, I like to call it long-term recovery. I don't like to put myself inside a box. I say I'm in long-term recovery because I am recovering from a vast majority of things, right? So I found when I said, hi, my name's Jay, I'm an alcoholic, I really just focused on being sober, right? And then when I
Yeah.
said, hi, my name's Jay, I'm an addict, I just really focused on being clean. Not that that's not a bad thing.
Right.
For me, I wanted more out of life. For me, I wanted to have a life that hyper recovery coaching I've been building for 11 years, and it was all about stepping out of the mold, all about going against traditions, about going against the institutional ways, and showing people that one foot does not fit every shoe, and that you can get help in other places rather than just certain places. And I'm not saying that those places didn't help me, because they did, but
Yeah.
I just grew and wanted to continue to grow. And I wanted to create something that I could understand. And myself, I would never bring anything to the world to destroy the world. I hype the world up and love the world and want to help people better. And I worked this thing like a solid 365 and not told anybody. And people were asking me, what are you doing? What are you doing? And, I wanted to make sure that this worked on the number one guinea pig.
I think it's great because there's so many people that really don't, they don't associate with, or they don't kind of click with the 12-step groups, and there needs to be alternatives. Now, how long have you been sober?
It's been 14 plus years.
Awesome. You and I'm in my 15th year. So we're close.
We're right close. Yeah, February 11th, 2008.
Good for you.
And yeah, you're absolutely right. So like for year one, I did AA, got a sponsor, did the 12 steps, nothing against the 12 steps. But I came out of year one going, how come I don't know myself yet? How come these steps have not taught me who Jay is.
Mm.
I understand manageability. I understand powerlessness. I understand character defects. I understand higher power. I understand making an amends. I understand giving back. Well, who's Jay? I don't even know who Jay is. Hi, my name's Jay. I'm an alcoholic. That's what I knew, and that meant I was just staying sober for me, right? So I went to
Mhm.
NA in year two, and same NA, AA, same 12 steps. There's nothing
Yeah.
different about them. So I got an NA sponsor, worked the steps again. So for 24 months, uh, I dedicated to H&I commitments, to hospitals and institutions, to speaking at meetings, to all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and it came out of year two going, why don't I know myself yet?
Now,
Like I have
wait,
a
let
real
me ask you about
yeah.
that. When you say I don't know myself yet, was it that you didn't know yourself, or was it that you were not feeling like the way you thought you were supposed to feel?
Well, this is me right here at 5 years old. That's the last time I remember being happy. That's Jay Corey. So Jay Corey was waiting for me at the Kuwait Arena. That's about 10 minutes down the road from me, saying, "When are you going to come pick me up? I love you, Jay. Why are you leaving me behind on this journey? You
Oh, that
need."
makes me want to cry.
But this is the thing that people don't understand, right? About I didn't get that in the rooms. I didn't get go pick up your old guy. I was born Jay Corey. So in
Yeah.
order to be whole, I need to bring that person with me to go on this journey. I wasn't feeling whole because I never got to that point, right? And the whole aspect, I asked myself, right, like there has got to be more out of life than this. And I'm not telling you I didn't have a lot of amazing things happen to me in 24 months, because I did. From getting myself back enrolled to be a Red Seal chef at Algonquin College in Ottawa, to actually finishing that program and transitioning into being and learning how to be a chef. That was a huge dream of mine. I had started that in active addiction. I couldn't get through it because of active addiction. So that was a huge accomplishment right there.
Mhm.
At 9 months, and at 9 months into my long-term sobriety, I was looking at 5 years in prison for possession of the purpose of trafficking cocaine and the intent for the fifth time. And at
Mm.
that time, I actually had allowed myself and gave myself permission to forgive and accept that I did the crime. I got to do the time. So I was like, in my own mind, I was like, okay, 5 years, 3.5. Okay, I'm 28. Possibly be getting out of there at 32. Okay, I'm gonna have 4 years in long term recovery. Okay, 32. I still got a big chunk of life ahead of me. I can probably accomplish a whole bunch of things that I want to accomplish. And my lawyer at the time said, Jay, I can't even give you the answer. I don't know if it's a yes or a no. Just
Mhm.
be prepared for the worst. Jay, this is your fifth time. Yes, you've managed to actually do something great for yourself this time, and you're actually like really trying at life. But you know how the old song goes, Jay. Maybe you burned so many bridges, and so I'll be forever grateful for Judge Frazier. Judge Frazier, God bless him, saw something in me way before. Like he saw something in me when I was getting in trouble at 13 and 14 years old, and I just couldn't see it because I was in
Oh
my own
man.
way. But he saw something in me, and yeah, he sent me to jail, and yeah, and another huge one is Sandy Paul. She saw something in me way before I saw something in myself, and so I came back home, and I was prepared to go to do this 3.5 years in the penitentiary, 4 years in the penitentiary,
Mhm.
for what I did. I was no longer running. I was no longer hiding, and I was no longer allowing fear, false evidence appearing real to run my life. I was no longer allowing false beliefs to cloud my mind of
Yeah.
judgments and choices and decision making and thinking and thoughts and patterns. I
Mhm.
was driving and owning every single day on that bus seat, and taking myself to the places that I wanted to go because I owned the day. And in order to
Yeah.
get anything in life, you have to own the day, and you can't expect other people to do it for you. You need to do it yourself. While other people support you and help you and love you. Um,
Can I
so
ask
I
you a question?
absolutely.
So, what was your spiritual connection like when you came in?
Well, I never
After you
went.
did the steps and.
Yeah, I have a God. So I have a at the beginning when I landed into treatment for the first day. you know, I had a real hard time, right? And the chapel's like, well, why don't you just call it creator if you can't say higher power or God? And so I started at creator.
Mm-hmm.
And then I moved to higher power, obviously through the programs. And then I got myself to God.
Okay.
And I do, I do have a God in my life. I believe we all do in some sort of way. If that's the TV or the stairs or the whatever it is you have, that's your gig. And that's the beautiful thing is it's your recovery, so nobody can take that away from you. Um, so I get to court, and you know, he's like, "Where's Jay?" And I was like, because I was dressed up, I had a suit, right? I used to be the guy, he's like, where is he? The gray, the yelling, the screaming, the ripped jeans, you got to understand, like the last time I got out of jail, I had one shoe. So I had two socks on one foot, one shoe, ripped pants. My life was, there was two options. I have an allergic reaction that breaks me out into handcuffs or I die. So those are the options I have. That there is no other options in life. They're those. If I want to go do whatever that life is, I will have
That's
an
it.
allergic reaction and I will break out into handcuffs or I'll try and commit suicide or kill myself because I've tried many times. Um, so he's like, you're saying yes sir, no sir, color in your face, dressed up. He said, I've never seen a guy work so hard to get his life back.
Oh, wow.
And he said, it was, he gave me 18 months probation from a
Wow.
5-year sentence. And at that point in my life, I said, wow, I understand this. If you're willing to help yourself, other people are willing to help you. I didn't understand that concept because I never used to help myself. So
Right.
nobody else could help me. So other people wanted to help me, but if I didn't want to receive the help, how could I get the help? Um,
Yeah.
and Judge Fraser allowed me to go back to Ottawa, Ontario, to follow the dream to be a chef. He allowed me to go back, and the fire was lit. And I started branding myself as Chef Recovery, and I got on social media at 6 months into my long term recovery and started blasting out loud about what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and I haven't stopped. And
You're good at it, though.
well, it's my life, right?
Yeah.
And it's a part of me that I don't regret anything that I ever went through. I actually embrace it and love everything that I went through because it made me the human being I am today. I always say, the most important thing in life is time. And if we don't have time, I don't have myself, right? And so I put time against currency, and that's not currency in the bank. So I always say, what are you spending your time on for the currency of the richness on the inside? So what are you wasting your time on? Because my whole goal in life is to be the richest I can possibly be on the inside by truly loving, caring, being kind to myself, and allowing myself to work through this world of all the things that happen to us, but know that I can't control anything that goes on really, but what I'm doing in front of me. So it's what is your currency equal to time? So if you're just out there wasting time, I'm going to suspect that you don't have very much richness on the inside.
Right.
But if you're actually taking the time and working on yourself and doing the things that you need to do for self, which a lot of people are scared to do because it's fear-based, false evidence appearing real. I don't want to look in the mirror because I'm going to see a whole bunch of things I don't want to see. But actually, the things that you get to see are the most beautiful things about yourself, the most intriguing things about yourself, the most exciting things about yourself, the most amazing things that you never thought were possible that you could possibly do in your life when you look in the mirror and you see yourself. And that, yeah, in long term recovery. And
Yeah.
because I recover from a vast majority of things. I had a food addiction, I had a porn addiction, I had a sex addiction, I had a lying addiction, a manipulation addiction, I had a drug addiction, I had a drinking addiction, I had a stealing addiction. So if I want to go get a label machine, I'll just head over to Walmart and get me a label machine. I'm not going to start putting labels on myself. And also, the fact of the matter is when I say long-term recovery, I really feel positive about that, right?
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden, the doors of opportunity really started to swing open for me. Um, Life was still life.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's one thing that we change, but life doesn't change. So we need to adjust with life as we're going through. And all kinds of amazing things started to happen. But like I said, I got to year 2 at the end of year 2 and went, wow, like I don't even know me yet. And I found that kind of strange. I found that, and it wasn't that I didn't do the work, because I did a step a month for 24 months, right? So it's not like I said, hey, I'm doing step 1 and boom, I'm into step 12 and forgot the other 10 in the middle.
I had a breakdown after 2 years, so I get it. I was of service. I did the steps. I did every single day. I was doing these things. And then at 2 years, I was like, okay, why do I want to take a gun to my head? So I
Right.
had
So
to do
I'm gonna
more
share with you with
digging.
what I did and how I managed to get this life. So I stepped away and went to a relationship coach. So it was the first time I ever paid
Hmm.
interest into myself. So for all these years that I spent $10 million on plugging my system with whatever I was plugging my system with, I had never actually took interest money and invested in myself with another human being to get to know myself. I never did that before. I thought that was not a concept. I thought that was wrong. And I thought that, why would I do that? Right. Um, so I did it. And the relationship coach wasn't about getting into relationships with women. It was about having a relationship with Jay, and how does Jay do that? And how can Jay get the relationship with himself? And how can it's really bad when you're on the Ottawa Canal and you're walking and you can't even hear the leaves, the wind, the sun, the air, because you're so compulsively stuck and stagnant inside your mind. So here I am, 2 years, proud of myself for doing what I did for 2 years, but I'm still missing a whole bunch of life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why am I, and I want to smell the air. I want to see the air. I want to see the birds. I want to see what's going on in life. And I just couldn't. So I just wanted to no, and I was missing that stuff. I couldn't even get in a canoe and go paddling, or I couldn't even go on a raft, and I couldn't even go on a boat and go fishing. I was so compulsively stuck in my mind that it would take me forever to put a minnow on a jig just to go fishing. Um and that is addiction at its finest, compulsively obsessing. That's what we do. And so this relationship coach that I went to go see really got me to understand what it is we deal with, and then what I started to build 11 years ago. And there were 6 things that came out of those 2 months of me putting interest into myself and breaking out of the mold, not doing it traditionally, not doing it institutional, not doing it this way, not doing it that way, not you can only get recovery if you do it this way, and it's only a 12-step program, and you got to get a sponsor, and you better get the AA book, and no, I broke away from all that stuff,
Yeah.
and had to step away to really see what life had to offer. And by doing that, I recognized and identified 6 things that I had not got in those 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
which is the 30 to 30, which is thinking, thoughts, patterns, triggers, series of events, and boundaries. I never got that, right? And here's the truth. I can identify as an addict and an alcoholic, but I am not that today. I'm not an addict, and I'm not an alcoholic today. But I can identify because I sure the hell was. So, for me to say, hi, my name's Jay, I'm an alcoholic, I'm always going to think on how to just stay sober. How do I just stay sober? I'm scared to
Right.
relapse. When am I going to relapse? How am I going to, or am I not? How am I going to navigate through this? I can't go here. I can't go there. I don't even want to go to a restaurant. What's going on? Right? And What's the truth? This is just honestly the truth. Ashley and I just came from a trip in Mazatlan, and I go to the all inclusive where there's everything around me because it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me that people are doing what they're doing. I'm not going to just keep myself in such a little box that I'm not going to allow myself to go anywhere and explore the world of what the world has to offer. Right. So identify these 6 things: thinking, thoughts, patterns, trigger, series of events, and boundaries. And I start understanding that I got a thinking problem. I got a thoughts problem. I got a
Yep.
patterns problem. And if I'm staying in the same pattern, I'm getting the same results. And if I'm getting the same results, I'm getting triggered. And if I'm getting triggered, I'm in the series of events that might be a day, a holiday, whatever, right? And then I got no boundaries. So no wonder I'm going batshit crazy because I got no boundaries. Simplified to the formest way, right? So I started this, and I come out of those 2 months, and it was like I was reborn. It was like I was reborn because I understood something completely. I'm like, okay, what just happened? Like, this is I always talk about the paradigm shift in the mind. Chris knows because Chris is doing this with me, my brother, and there's a whole bunch, but the paradigm shift in the mind, and it's just like, okay, like all of a sudden I was just like, okay, I get this, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back to a meeting. It's been 80 or 90 days. And where have you been? What have you been doing? Are you okay? Everything okay?
Right.
It's like, yeah, I'm okay. I just stepped out of the box. And anyway, so when it came time to share, they wanted me to get up front and share. So obviously, me, no problem. Here we go, loud and proud, gonna tell you what I'm up to now. And I shared. I shared that I stepped out of the institutional way. I stepped away from the 12 steps. I have nothing against the 12 steps. They gave me what they gave me and got me where I am today. But I wanted more out of life, and there had to be more out of life, and I had to learn more from myself in order to get there. I couldn't necessarily always stay inside that box. And I talked about the relationship coach and all of that stuff, right? And how I just felt like I was a new person understanding who Jay was. And I'll tell you right now, when you really understand who you are, and if you can be truly honest with yourself and look at yourself in the mirror and say, I truly understand who you are, I love you for who you are, it's a serious accomplishment. So I sat down and at the end of the week, they actually bashed me. They bashed me. I'm doing recovery wrong. You only get recovery through the 12 steps. You only get recovery with a sponsor. Why are you paying for your recovery? It's free. And I went, hold on here a second. What do you, how, like, this is an honest question. Ask yourself this question. How is recovery free? I spent $10 million in 20 years to get myself to that seat. How is that
Right.
free? How
You
is that
earned it.
free? So I said, judging by the basket that's going around right now, there's $4.78 in there. I don't see a $10 million check. So if you want to cut me a $10 million check right now, home group, I will tell you that recovery is free. Until then, recovery is not free. It isn't. And I didn't go to a meeting again. I stepped away from meetings. And the last 4 months of year 3, I went to a sober coach, and I identified the 9 other things that I was missing in my recovery that is part of the Hype Recovery series. The first 6 are the journey to 30. The next 12 are the journey to 90. And then the all 15 is the journey to 180. I've gone to one meeting in that amount of time, and I gave somebody a 1-year medallion. But I don't go to meetings. I also wanted to create a platform that would give opportunity for the people that have long-term recovery, because I always applied to be a counselor to help people and I never get the job because I didn't go to the school. I didn't go do schooling. And for me, in my heart, the lived experience people, they deserve a chance. They deserve a chance to work with people because we understand people more than anybody else in this world understands.
Right.
And So I go into year 4, and I moved to Fort McMurray, and I become a celebrity chef, and I started doing things for Wayne Gretzky and Mark
Oh,
Messier,
wow.
William Shatner, Snoop Dogg. I really get myself involved with some really cool things, and this is all through me. It wasn't even called hype then; it was called help my personal effort. Right? Like I hadn't even got to hype yet. It
You
was
must be
help
a
my.
great chef.
Oh,
But
I've seen a couple of his creations. It is creative, too beautiful to eat.
Wow.
um, so I start working these 15 things for a year,
Hmm.
like I said, and people would ask me, "Why are you so happy? What's going on? We don't hear you." And I just kept saying, "I'm working on myself." I didn't, I didn't tell anybody what I was doing. Like I said, I'm not a guy that brings something to the world to destroy it. I think there's enough of that going on in the world. I bring something that helps people, that hypes people up, that
Right.
brings love, and brings positivity, and brings um, togetherness, and brings something to deserve. We deserve something new. um
Absolutely.
and then going into year 5, I became a motivational speaker all across Canada, and I started sharing about this
Oh,
newfound thing. And I was like, well,
great.
wait a second here, help my personal, I can change that to hype. And I was just laying in bed one day, and I remember just jumping out, whoa, hype. And I was like, yeah, yes, help your personal effort. Yes, help your personal effort.
I
I'm going to
love
go
it.
already help my personal effort. I'm going to go out and help other people get help your personal effort. That's what I'm going to do. And I hadn't got to the programs or anything yet, because I had all this stuff in my mind, and
Hmm.
I was still working the journey. I still work the journey today, and that's what's so exciting about our platform. Is it's not like, hey, come into us, I quit doing this and we want you to do this because we no. I work this every single day, um, and I become a better person every day. And for the latter part, so from year 5 all the way up to year August 20 August 2021, I had to close a previous business of mine, which was freshwater cuisine. So, also through being a chef, I got to really live out the dream of coming back and creating products in my hometown in a restaurant. Then I got the opportunity to actually open up my own food processing company, which was a fish processing company. We became an award-winning business all across Canada, recognized for 1 in 5 top businesses in all of Ontario for a leader in innovation. I was one in a 20 under 40 for a leader in business entrepreneur.
I
Um,
mean, when we get into long term sobriety, we kill it. That's amazing,
Nothing stops us because we're not in our way, right?
right?
So I ended up getting massive. Uh, it was just massive. We became national. We started selling products all across Canada through Cisco GFS. I ended up getting myself into the U.S. I ended up cutting a deal with Giggles Bar and Grill at the Minnesota State Fair for the product we created, called the Walleye Wings. They bought 7,500 pounds of these things, which was really waste. It used to just go to the garbage. And then the pandemic hit, and through the through the pandemic, I was up and down and all around, just like everybody else, trying to figure out business, and
Hmm.
still working what I had, but I just so I came to August 2021, and I said to Ashley, I said, okay, I got to close the business, but what's next for Jay? What is next for Jay? What hasn't Jay done yet that Jay wants to do full force to shake up the world? Not Canada, the world. And
To
I
this
said,
chap, more is never enough. I have to add this. More is just simply never enough. And Danny, take this from me. This guy can stand on a stage and improvise for an hour and 45 minutes straight. No script, no pre prep, nada. He just goes there and he nails it. That's how
That's
a gifted
awesome.
speaker Jay is.
thanks, broski.
I believe it.
And so I say, okay, let's launch this. Right. I closed the business. I lost millions of dollars with that business. And I took a real negative situation that could have been negative for somebody else. But because I had this long term recovery, and because I was plugged into a program, and because I helped thousands of people around the world, I just didn't have the material yet.
Yeah.
I was able to flip that around and go, you know what? I'm already out there loud and proud. Mental health, get ready, world, because you ain't seen nothing yet. And
Mhm.
I said, okay, let's launch this. And that was in August 2021. And I said, okay, I'm going to build an initial team. So I reached out to some people I know. There's 4 of us right now. We have a combined 73 years of long-term recovery. I got a guy that's got 36 years. Ashley just celebrated 2.5 years. I got another girl that's got 18 years who got, into sobriety at 17 years old. So more than half her life, she's, I got another lady, Brooke, out of Vancouver, sober biz babe, who's really took everything out of my mind. Who's really taken everything out of my mind that I had here.
Cool.
Which is interesting because I won a speakers contest in 2020, and Ariel Asher, I'll always be forever grateful for her. So, I had a problem with English. So, 222, there. People had always pointed out, right? Like, hey, Jay, no, you know how to spell there? No, I actually don't. And, so I'd always get bashed around that kind of thing or whatever, made fun of, right? So ever since I was 4 years old, I had this English teacher booked in room 24 that told me I wasn't good enough or I wasn't worth it. And I tried writing cookbooks like so many times. I had a TV show, or my first crack at a TV show back when I was 3 years into it, and it was called Redemption Cafe. And CBC asked who the host was, and I said me, and they're like, "Who are you?" And it's like, "What do you mean you don't know who I am? How's that even possible?" Granted, I was only like 2.5 into it, so I guess you don't know who I am. But anyways, we never got the gig there, and I just kept plugging along. But I had this English teacher inside my head that just told me I wasn't good enough to write a book, and I always wanted to be an author and share what I had found, but I wasn't able to get there. So I won this speakers contest and got myself aligned with Ariel Asher, who's just this amazing, lovely person that I love to death. And I was at a point in my life where I was ready to hear it. Right. And, she's like, Jay, why haven't you done a book? Why haven't you talked about all these things? Right. And I was like, well, I'm scared of this English teacher in my head. I had a fear around letting this English teacher go. And, she looked me straight in the eye. You serve that English teacher the pink slip tonight and get it the fuck out of your head. I said, well, yes, Mom.
I love it.
And so that night, I laid in bed, and I actually, we're sitting at 12 years. And I was actually having a conversation with myself about should I let it go or shouldn't I let it go or why shouldn't I let it go? Because it was this deep rooted Band-Aid that had so much gauze on top of it that I didn't know how to write. And I was like, Jay, get the paper, go do it. So I did it, and I burnt it. And the next day I started writing 5 to 7 healthy ingredients to sexiness, which is one of the cookbooks I've been working on. And then in the next couple of weeks after that, I got professional photographer Lindsay here in Kenora, Ontario, and we started taking pictures of the appetizers. And then it brings me to Hype, right? So I haven't even finished that book yet. So then I bring it to Hype, and I bring all this stuff to Brooke and the team, and I say, okay, listen, this is my idea: journey to 30, journey to 90, journey to 180. I said, we got 6-week, 12-week, 24-week program. Let's get this going. Let's get the ebook going. I said, I want to launch this October 18th, 2021, 2 days before my 5,000 days of long-term sobriety.
Are you teaching people how to do this?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. So we launched October 18th, 2021. Wow. And we had an ebook. So this is what's so awesome about us is as long as you got a computer, a tablet, or a cell phone, and you have Zoom or FaceTime, you get yourself plugged in with a Hype Recovery coach. So I said, this is how we're going to hit the world. We're going to create the ebook. The ebook's going to get emailed to you a session at a time, and we're going to work through this together. I'm going to meet you every week for an hour. But throughout the whole time you're with me in these 6 weeks, I'm going to give you my cell phone number, and you can call me or you can text me at any time if you need support, because you won't get that from a counselor. You won't get that from a therapist, and you won't get that from a doctor, because that's the clinical way. And sometimes you have a hard time getting that in all of the rooms. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it all for you because I know you're worth it, right? So that's cool. I see things in people before they see it. And I got myself, we partnered up with another company because I was like, okay, how can we have something really cool when it comes to transitioning our programs? I don't call it complete. I don't call it finish. I don't call it done, right? Like, I mean, graduate. Like, how the fuck do you
Right.
graduate in long-term recovery? What do you graduate? Do I graduate to longer
We don't
long-term
graduate
recovery?
life.
Like, am I going to the cosmosis? I don't know. Like, what do you complete? I never got that. So I said, I want to partner up with an amazing bunch of people, the visually impaired and person autism, and my friend Simone, who actually, she's the one that suggested I call myself Chef Recovery because she was a pastry chef at Algonquin College, and she has a glass company called Firebox Glass, and they create beads. So Susan is her sister, who's visually impaired and a person autism, and she handcrafts every single one of our beads. So this is the journey bracelet that you get at the transitioning of the program of the journey
That's
to 30.
really cool.
And every single bead has a color and a theme towards the session, right? So it's so awesome to hold a coin that says I did it for this amount of time. But when I look down at my wrist every single morning, I go, where's my thinking, my thoughts, my patterns, my triggers, my series of events, and my boundaries? And what am I going to do about that today? So we partnered up with her, and we started rolling this. And I had the ebook at the beginning, and I was able to help. Like, we were able to start helping the world. So the U.S., the U.K., Australia, Hawaii, Alaska, Canada, all of a sudden all this stuff was happening, and I was just getting louder and louder because we had the Pink Nation merch, and I had this goal of 500 ebooks that we would pay forward by October 18th, 2022. To date, we've paid forward 100 ebooks to people that can't access them or can't get them. And I do it all through TikTok, through videos. And I go out there and find people in a vast majority of recovery. So it doesn't matter if you have no time or 1 second of time or 100 years of time. I just go find you and I shout out to you and we send you a free ebook through us, through other people that are paying it forward. And then the best dream obviously was when all of a sudden I received the books, right? When all of a sudden I received the books as an author. One thing is to see the ebook, and that was absolutely amazing to see that we were starting to help people. But all of a sudden I got the books, and, talk about an 11-year dream to get here, right? And to create a platform that's not clinical, to create a platform that's not institutional, to create a platform that's none of the A's, and to watch the results come through people. It gives me goosebumps because I've been doing this for a long time, right? I've been doing this, but now it's different because I actually have physical material. People are actually buying the books on Amazon. They're actually sending me pictures, right? So you can buy the books on Amazon if you're not looking for a hyper recovery coach. So that's okay. We understand. Maybe you just want to do our programs and sessions at home. That's great. So go order the books online on Amazon and do them at your leisure, at your pace, at your own time. Or you go to www.hyperrecoverycoach.com, book yourself a discovery call with me. I don't like to call it a consultation. That's too clinical. I like to call it discovery. I like to get in a discovery call with you and let's discover where you are. Let's discover what you want. Let's discover who you are. Let's discover where do you want to go. And
I told you he's energetic.
Oh, I love it.
And it's just more positive.
Bundle of energy.
So the discovery call really opens it up, and from there they can either sign up for the Journey to 30 right now, which is the 6-week program, and now we have the Journey to 90, which is the 12-week program. So if you come into the discovery call and you say, Jay, I don't think this is going to work for me. Okay, no problem. I still love you. I still care about you. I'm still going to go yell and scream for you, and I'm still going to be there for you, right? The whole thing is that I wanted to create a platform with a whole bunch of people that might not necessarily go to any of the rooms anymore and are sitting at home alone and have nowhere to turn. I wanted to create something that maybe people that are stuck and stagnant inside of their recovery, and because a lot of us get there, I was there, right? So people in long-term recovery that are just staying sober, or just staying clean, like it's almost like you're worse then than you were You know what I'm saying? And
Sometimes, yes.
oh yeah, I mean, obviously the drinking and the using isn't there, but you are beating yourself up like Mike Tyson in the ring. And um, and, and the thing is like I wanted to create something that was feasible for everybody. So, you know, there is a cost that comes to booking to getting a hyper recovery coach, but you know, the value that you get compared to what we charge, and basically the whole charge is a pay it forward program. So I've been trying to work with the Canadian government and really shake the trees on the barriers and the Canadian red tape around lived experience people, and what I believe in my heart, us lived experience people that have long-term recovery, that, you know, really live this, breathe this, eat this, want this, help
Yeah.
this, all that stuff. I should be getting the same opportunities as a counselor.
I mean,
Um,
you could put this stuff in the jails, you know? I
well,
mean,
so that's where we've. So I have started to. We have a rebuild coming here in Kenora, Ontario. So in the summer or late fall, they're actually going to start allowing me to go into the jails and start doing group sessions of 5 for the inmates. I
oh,
have talked to other jails about bringing it in there. We do collaborate with treatment centers. So anybody that's a counselor or a director of a treatment center, I call it the Hyper Recovery Starter Package. So it's basically the Journey Journal and the Journey to 30. We give you a discounted price on the package. And on however many packages you buy, we actually donate $2 back to your facility. But the main thing is you know, as a client coming in for my first day, I don't know what's going on. Going through the intake, I'm really mad at myself. I'm all that, right? You know, if I was given a hyper recovery starter package and the person that was taking the intake said to me, you know, hey, look, there's this program. These people that have lived experience that are just like us built this. Take a look at it.
mhm.
It would give me so much hope. I'd be like, excuse me, what did you just say to me? People built this that were just like me?
Yeah.
Right? Then it gives the opportunity to work on the weekends per se if you don't have a counselor, and then, you know, maybe halfway through the weekend on Wednesday you're doing a hyper recovery hump day with the book and the group and whatever you're doing, right? And so we're doing that right now. We also just launched about 3 weeks ago a project type, which is the massive dream. Project type is we want to build the first, but we'll have many hyper recovery wellness centers. I like to say wellness. I don't like to call it treatment. That's too clinical. I think we're on a wellness and a well-being adventure journey.
Mm.
So if I say wellness, I want to know more. If I say well-being, I want to know more. If you say treatment, I say fuck you. I don't want to know that.
Right.
It's just true. So
So true.
it is. Right? So you know, it's a massive dream, and I, you know, I've been trying to work on getting funding, and I mean, you know, in 2 days or 3 days, we're 150 days old. So 11 years of a building, but 150 days of actually helping people. We have 12 clients in right now that I'm helping. 13 clients in right now that I'm helping all across the world. We do have 4 other coaches, so we will start getting clients to the other coaches here soon. So
Mm.
the really interesting thing is that we're also able to create the platform and an avenue that we're able to do training for people that, you know, have a year or more of long-term recovery if they're looking to be a coach. So we're just building the training right now. That will be 3 hours long. That you'll be able to go through and become a hyper recovery certified coach, which then would give you the platform, would give you the material, would give you the back office. We have also created a coaches corner in the back office because I truly believe that us coaches need just as much support as the clients coming in. So I always find that that's a fall in the industry where counselors don't get the support, doctors don't get the support, psychiatrists don't get the support. Well, the truth is we all need help. My ego ain't going to get in my way. I need help, so I need to talk to you. So we're going to give, we have a coach's corner. It's already built. So all the coaches that we bring in will be able to go in there and share about what's going on in their lives and get help through this amazing community that we're building. Like I said, we just launched Project Hype, which is the massive dream to build the first hype recovery wellness center. So there's 4 ways that you can actually pay it forward. So other people pay it forward. One is with the ebook. So you can buy 1 ebook. I go out and pay it forward. You can buy 5 ebooks. You can pay it forward in sessions. So people actually buy sessions for other people. 3 other people have been put through by other people to get the help that they need. Or you can also buy the Project Hype Recovery swag with 100% of all the profits going towards Massive Dream. We also have the Recovery Couple swag. Ashley and I celebrate 2 years of being the Recovery Couple today, which is the Pink Nation. So we have hoodies and hats, hoodies and shirts. This is the only hat, so it's going for about $1.5 million if anybody wants it.
Well, I have to say this as well. It sounds like you're starting to commoditize everything like it's cryptocurrency.
Yeah, well, we gotta get ahead of the game. We gotta get ahead of the game on all this.
Ever the entrepreneur. And don't forget, somewhere along the line, you're going to have to start marketing Journey to 30 NFTs, non-fungible tokens.
Yeah, that's right.
You got it. So, and then we also got Hype Recovery swag. So we have women's apparel, all that stuff. So 100% all of the profits go to the Massive Dream. A portion of the books from Amazon go. I have to pay Amazon, obviously. Also, 25% of the money that comes in for the coaching goes towards the dream to build the wellness center.
Awesome.
Also, I'm really excited to say that, within the next 3 months, we'll have 4 languages also. So right now we have English. We're almost done the French side of the Journey Journal and the Journey to 30. So we're going to be able to go to places like Montreal, Quebec, and Europe and get coaches to help. So what I've learned about the bilingual side of things is mental health is a real struggle to find resources. So we have created the French version, and I just happened to be in Mexico last week. And while I didn't have a vacation, I just yelled and screamed about what I do from a hot tub. And did all these presentations on what we're doing. And it just so happened that I talked to people from Mexico yesterday, and they're interested in flipping our Journey to 30 and Journey Journal into Spanish so we can start helping the Mexican people and even possibly getting hype recovery villas in Mexico at maybe the resorts where people can come and get coached while they're there. I mean, I talked to about 300 or 400 people at the resort at the time. Just because I wore the hat, Recovery Couple, right? They're like, what's Recovery Couple? I'm like, glad you asked. You got an hour? And so that's what opened up the conversation. And I started doing these mini, Ashley's just like, do you stop? And, I
she actually asks that?
Yeah, she does. But I started doing
I don't believe you. Not for one sec.
And, the amount of people that got excited to hear that there's a new way of recovery, right? It's not the traditional way. It's not this way. I didn't talk about the A's or the steps or anything like that. There's no pressure with us. No pressure. So I was excited that, I talked to people in Mexico and actually got myself aligned with people that have long-term recovery in Mexico because they came and found me and they said, what are you doing and how are you doing it? And they call it AA there. And they're like, we need something new. And I know we need something new. The program needs to be lifted. As much as people don't want to say it is, it does. And that's just reality. Just like everything else in life, everything else has to get lifted, has to be rebuilt, has to be added, has to add more, right? So it's just really enhanced.
Reinvigorated, in other words.
Yes. And, and then, I talked to my other good friend about getting the book in Italian and helping the Italians, with this. So within the next 3 months, we be bilingual in English, French, Spanish, and Italian. That is
served on a side with marinara sauce.
extra meatball. And then
when the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
That is beautiful. That was like perfect timing for that, actually. And then we're going to actually also, in the later part of the summer, we're going to actually launch a junior journey. So the 13 to 17-year-olds right now we're all struggling. The 13 to 17-year-olds. I have a daughter. Her name's Destiny. I love her to pieces. She goes and yells and screams on TikTok. She knows daddy
Didn't she
struggles
yell
with.
hype recovery the one day that you dropped her off at
Yeah, well,
school?
her name's Mini Hype, and what was interesting, the first day at school, I drop her off, and as she's going to school, Daddy, hype recovery, and all the kids are looking at her, and she's just happy. I mean, she might not know what it means yet, but she does know what it means, and she knows Daddy celebrated 14 years a little while ago because she said it, and it's really about creating the conversations at home with our kids about this whole thing of mental illness and not being scared about it, right? Like our kids are losing their lives, and I find that unacceptable. We need to step up and do something. A lot of the reason is that the pandemic has really put a wait list into treatment centers, a wait list on counselors, a wait list on therapists, a wait list, a wait list, a wait list. So you're going to tell me when I'm looking for help, I got to go on a wait list? I do not feel too fucking important when you tell me that.
Oh,
Right.
I'll be dead by then, right?
Right. So that's the exciting thing about hype recovery coaching too, is we're trying to collaborate with these places that have wait lists because they can do pre-treatment with hype recovery before they go into the treatment center if they choose to do that. The exciting thing is with hype recovery, like I said, like there's people that we have that, have a wife, have kids, have a job. They can't necessarily leave for 6 months. So how do they get the help they need? Well, you get yourself plugged into a hype recovery coach. We meet you once a week for an hour. You have the support for 6 weeks, and we get you back to what it really is. It's not about the drinking and the drugs. That's not the problem. It became the problem. Problem happened way over here when I was 5 at J. Corey. Thinking, thoughts, patterns, triggers, series of events, boundaries. Because if you allow your thoughts to get in your thinking trap, that means you're in trouble. Another one, a lot of people don't know what relapse is. A lot of people are going to tell you, I used. Well, that's the end result. How, how do you just go, I used? Like that doesn't happen, right? Like, so you actually have a mental relapse before you actually go and pick up. These mental relapses can happen for years, months, whatever, before you actually go and do what you got to do. But it all starts. If you all look at those 6 things, right? The last 6 is the gasoline that fuels the thinking, thoughts, and patterns. So if your thoughts are coming in, you're just allowing stuff to come in. You're giving permission for it to come in. You're just allowing the toxicity to come in. You're just pouring it on like gravy at K-Fry. Just keep it coming. Give me more gravy. You're just allowing this stuff to come in.
So true, though.
And it's like, well, what do I do with it? Well,
on
now
a sesame seed bun.
This gets stuck in your thinking trap. And now you can't even think anymore. You don't know where your thoughts are, so you go to old patterns. Your old patterns are where you feel comfortable. Well, when comfortable, you're uncomfortable. You're not growing. You're not moving. You're stuck and stagnant. So from patterns, you go right to what can trigger me. So anything, how the toilet paper is on the roll could trigger you. Oh, it's bent wrong. Honestly, the littlest thing can trigger you. Shit, my hair's got done wrong. Oh my God, I got a sweat stain underneath my arm. Triggered, right? Like anything. And then it moves you into the series of events, which is you start relating what you're going through to a certain time, a certain date, a certain event, a certain situation, a certain season, right? So you get back into that happened, right? So a lot of people think that bringing the happened into the happening, they can control that. That's a false belief. That's fear. You're allowing what happened to control you. You can't control what happened. It happened. It's gone. It's down. It's back there. How? Right? How? How do I do but in your mind, you think you can control it because it's already happened. Right? So now because you're into that stage and your thinking trap is just full of your thoughts that are driving you to, I'm not worth it. I suck. I don't deserve this. I'm not good enough. I'm a shitty dad. I'm a shitty this. I done this. I'll never get this. I should just this. Now, whatever boundaries you have put up, because a lot of people don't even understand what boundaries are, like through 200 as of today. So 231 discovery calls I've done since October 18th, 2021, not including what I did in Mazatlan from the hot tubs. So And I've asked everybody inside a discovery call, I asked them, what is a boundary? And easily 86 to 87% of them will say a football line. Now, that is true. A boundary is in football, but people
Right,
really
right, 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 right. Sorry,
understand
that's
putting up a
football term.
positive boundary. When you decide to stop whatever your addiction is or whatever's harming you or whatever's hurting you, that's a boundary you're putting up. You're putting a healthy boundary that says, I am not going to do this because it does this to me. If I don't have this boundary up, this is what it's going to do to me. So people don't really understand how to identify or be aware of the surrounding areas of what's going on with you, right? So it's always focused on somebody else, always focused on somebody else, always focused on somebody else, always focused on somebody else. So by the time you get to know boundaries, you are now so far down the mental relapse that all you think that's left is to go pick up whatever can kill the pain that you're going through. So you'll go pick up whatever's hard or you'll go pick up whatever's soft. Now, for some of us, we won't go right to what that is. We'll just go do something else that kind of gets us that feeling, but won't give us that feeling. So it's a monetary thing. So through the monetary thing, we stay inside the mental relapse for months, years, decades. And then all of a sudden, something just gets us. But by identifying and being aware of what's going on, look at the word message. Now, this is good. Now you got to listen to this. Look at the word message. The first four letters are mess, MES. Last three letters are age, AGE, equals problems. If I stay in the mess, I will age with the problems. If I stay in the mess, I will age with the problems. That is a guarantee. That is a guarantee. So how do you get out of staying in the mess and aging with the problems? Because any kind of addiction is going to age you because it just brings on stress. It just brings on dysfunction. It just brings on drama. It just brings on unmanageability. It just brings on discomfort. All that stuff is stress that is aging a person, right? So how do I get into the message to create the solution to combat what I'm going against?
And
My thinking.
that's the tough part for people, the
Because
fact that
they've
you're
never been
working
told.
with people, for the 30 days. That's the most crucial time because that's when everybody goes, forget it. I can't do it. The fact that you're having, you're working with people in just a 30-day period and then, you bump it up to what, 90 days?
So we do 6 weeks. 42 is the 6 week program.
Okay.
And then we do 90. We do the Journey to 90 is a 12 week. And then the 180 is 24 weeks. So a lot of people say, well, why is it called the Journey to 30? Well, simply because I want to break the 30 day for 30K, right? So that's what it is.
I
30
love that.
For 30 day for 30K. What the hell? 30 days for 30K. I don't even understand this. I'm working with a person right now that spent 90K 3 times. Third time, 3 days, went out and almost took his life. Today, he's got 31 days.
Wow.
Just from a new way of a new approach, a new way. You can be you with us because we're lived experience. The opportunity is the other one, I was like, okay, I don't want to advertise with massive places that are making massive money. They don't care about me. I just get plugged into the algorithm. Like Mark Zuckerberg is not calling Hype Recovery Coaching and asking how the fuck I'm doing. He ain't doing that. He ain't even sending me a friend request. So, at the end of the day, it's like, am I going to fuel my money here or am I going to create opportunity for people like me in an avenue of Hype Recovery ambassadors? So a Hype Recovery ambassador is just that, right? We create a coupon code for you. You send people to us through the website, www.hyperrecoverycoach.com. They come into a discovery call. If they decide to sign up, we use your coupon code and they save $50 with us. We turn around and we pay you $50 for your efforts on sending people to us. I don't know where else in the world that happens. I really don't. Because 30 days for 30K, can I get 1,000 off? No, you're not allowed in. See you later. Like, it's not happening, right? So that's another opportunity with us in the way that the people that through Hype Recovery ambassadors, we speak from the heart. So we're the best promoters. We're the best talkers. We're the best, people with love, everything. Why would I go give it to somebody like Mark Zuckerberg who You don't know who Jay Barnard is, right? So at the end of the day, you build an army of hyper recovery ambassadors that are out there helping sharing it and actually get their efforts of doing what they do get rewarded. And through the other version, the people that they send, they get rewarded. It's all a pay it forward program. Same thing. And then probably into the next 2 months, that's when we're going to start bringing in more coaches with the training. And it's just really exciting times right now. It's super exciting times for me and Ashley and anybody that's a part of hyper recovery coaching. I mean, hyper recovery coaching has been hashtagged over 915,000 times.
Wow.
Holy cow.
I don't even know how that's happened.
It's a testament of people that you're helping. You're planting the seed. You're spreading the message of recovery and hope. It's amazing.
Well, and the thing is it's a new way. So we need something new. Like I said the other night on another podcast I was doing, I said, more people are dying than we know.
Mm-hmm.
If all the things that are in the world are working, why are more people dying?
Fair question.
Tell me that. I want to know why. I want to know why, because people know that these places are there for them. Why is it that in the last 12 months, prior 12 months of the U.S., 100,000 people overdosed? Why is it like 40,000 in Canada? Why is more people going to graves? Why is it younger people? Because they don't have a place to turn. They don't have a new place to turn. It's the same old, same old.
And think about all that spoiled potential. They could have become the leaders of tomorrow.
Well, that's it, right? So how do we take care of that? So you got to have a strong back. You got to have big shoulders. You got to be a rhino like myself, because a lot of people say, "Yeah, listen,
Jason, you're not a rhino. You're a panda bear."
Noise doesn't get to me, right? Because I stay in my own lane. And when you stay in your own lane, you're able to accomplish so much more. Staying in your own lane, supporting other people with what they're doing, because whatever works for you works, and that's amazing. Just know we're here to help you if you're looking for something new. And that's what's so awesome, And I'm back on the. Chris talked about a speaker. I am on the motivational speaker unit again. I've done a lot of it, so. What I can tell you is your people will be on the edge of their seat, and they will leave that place beyond hyped when I'm done with them. So you can inquire about booking me as well as a motivational speaker at www.hyperrecoverycoach.com. And we can really hype up in any event, anything when it comes to motivationally speaking and sharing a story. I'm not a guy that stays inside the mess and shares about his mess, because we all know what the mess is. I'm a guy that stays inside the message of the solutions to help people to get out of the mess. I'm not going to sit here and talk to you about how much crack and how much beer and how much heroin I banged. That ain't going to happen. But I am going to sit here and tell you how I got a life worth living, and how I continue to have this life worth living, and how I continue to love myself on the daily to be a better person. And I think that message really needs to be put out there. Is that, we need to love ourselves, and if you haven't said, I love you to somebody today, go do it, because it'll make you feel good. I probably say I love you to 150 people a day. And it's not because I make myself do that. It's because it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do, saying, I love you. You're worth it. I believe in you. You got this. You can do this. Those 5 things will bring a person to their rock bottom, because they know that you'll never give up on them. Right. So it's not about enabling somebody, because you can't enable. People already do that. People already have the EE syndrome, excuses and enabling. So people make up excuses to enable themselves, which puts them into the RR syndrome, which is resentments and reservations, which is the happened into the happening, and they can't get out of it. So we have a real amazing platform that is just young. And I'm proud, 11 years to get here. And it just proves that anything in your life you want to do, you can do on any level. And it doesn't matter what you want to do. My brother right there, in 3 years, I call it, he's going to be in the Great White North, having a cup of productions, and he's going to be making the finest movies with with Hype Recovery and Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt and maybe like Alanis Morissette or something. But
well, we need to get you on Just for Laughs. Imagine you emceeing Just for Laughs. Gretzky on the right, Carla Collins on the left, Bill Shatner at the back.
God.
Well, the message translates to memories, and as we know, to quote the Dino, memories are made of this. Folks, please forgive me for hopping on late. I forgot that it was daylight savings. Jay Barnard has been our guest, a pioneer in the recovery field, who is just showing us that you can reap the benefits with a little journey to 30. Jay, you're a star.
just a question: does it get any better than Chris's voice? My girlfriend is in love with Chris's voice.
No, it does not.
And like I honestly just want to bring you to Canada and use your voice that I do. I'm just saying I do.
You will not
good
believe
thing
how many
is-
offers I've gotten from the US for their, what's that gadget? It's got a woman's name. Alexa.
Yeah, you would be an awesome one. That you would having a cuppa with. Oh my God, Chris. Let's not. But
Hey. This is not about me. This is about you. This is about you.
It's about all of us, right? And that's the amazing thing about the platform.
You helped me right
built.
there.
Is I always look at it, right? It's never about me. If we turn up me upside down, that becomes we, and we create opportunities. So it's about me, always turning up me to we, and when you turn up we,
That's always grind my kidneys about our siblingship. You always have to best me. And that's why you're the older brother.
I can't congratulate you enough. I mean, you're really helping a lot of people, and it's remarkable. Your passion for this is so amazing, and that really is attractive to people that are trying to get sober. So congratulations. Where can they find you? Just give us one more, lay it out for us real quick.
So www.hyperrecoverycoach.com is where you're going to find the bulk of everything. So you're going to be able to get a discovery call there. It pops up right away. You're going to be able to see who the recovery couple is. You're going to be able to see Ashley and I, our TV series. It's in there. So you'll be able to plug into that and see what Ashley and I are up to. You also can see the Project Hype Pay It Forward program there. You're also going to see the Hype Recovery Ambassador, so you can become a Hype Recovery Ambassador there. You're going to see my story. You're going to see all the media stuff that I've ever done there. Obviously, Facebook, Hype Recovery, Facebook, Recovery Couple, TikTok, Chef Hype Recovery. If you go over to TikTok, it's pretty crazy. I'm live over there pretty good.
You're
Instagram.
good.
Clapper, if you're on Clapper, Hype Recovery. I'm everywhere. So Clapper, it's a brand new platform. I got on that thing about 3 months ago, and I'm already sitting at 1,500 followers. So,
Oh, come on.
honestly, go check out Clapper. It's
Have you got no social life?
Ah, that is his social life.
Yeah,
Oh.
anywhere in a day.
I stuck my foot in that one.
So that's where you can find us. Like I said, you can get a free discovery call, 30-minute free discovery call. Obviously, I can't do anything in half an hour, so you're going to be with me for 45 minutes to an hour. And
That's an understatement.
but it's really not about questioning you and running your gears. It's about finding out who you are, what you want to do, discovering you. And you get to discover you with me, and like I said, we got female coaches. So if you're looking for a female coach, we got that. If you're looking for somebody that's got a little bit more time than me, we got that. If you're looking for the loud, proud, pink toque wearing guy, we got that. It's all really about creating new things for people to get a life. And let them know that not every single foot fits the same shoe. If you are feeling stuck, you are feeling stagnant, try something new. Don't do that to yourself. Take the time. take the interest, invest in yourself. It's one of the best things in your life that you'll ever do. It's only money, and if you put it into yourself, you're going to get this amazing feeling like you never had before. I always used to look at it like, wow, I had no problem spending a couple $1,000s a night putting it up my nose. So what's the difference if I go spend it on somebody that's going to help me get to know me, and I get more tools, right? So if I can get more tools in my long term recovery, I'm just equipping myself for like massive success. And I want massive success. I don't want to be a person that walks around saying to myself, wonder if I'm going to relapse, wonder if I'm going to use, when am I going to use? I don't want that.
No.
I want to be, when can I get to the next accomplish? What can I do next? How can I do it? I want to do it. Right? That's where I want to be.
Where your test becomes your testimony.
That's it. And everybody has it. Like everybody that I talk to, everybody that I talk to, I see something in them way before they see anything in themselves, just like Judge Frazier saw in me. And if they give the time, and I don't know why people are in such a rush, because really our life is fast. So not really sure why everybody's in such a rush with life, because we come out and we go pretty fast. So, you got to give yourself the time, and you got to give yourself the effort, and you got to help your personal effort. And how you're going to do that, right? So, there's just a lot of people that are stuck and stagnant right now, and struggling. And I just want them to know that they got somewhere to turn, and people to talk to. At the least, you get a free discovery call with me, and I'll make you laugh. So at the end of the day, you will feel better when you're done with me for an hour. And I'm excited to launch the junior journey, and I'm excited to launch. I also want to launch a program for families, spouses, brothers, sisters, cousins that are affected by all sorts of addiction. There's only really two avenues for people to go to for that. And
Your
I'm
family members get a discount?
Yeah.
So once we have that, I think we'll probably have that in the fall of 2022. But it's really important. I'm running into a lot of family members that are affected, right? And I'm actually taking them on, even though they don't have, let's say, addiction issues in any form, but they've been affected by it, so they feel like they have an addiction. And it's we just need more love and kindness out there. It's just the truth, and we just need to have something new and exciting, and something you can feel proud to be a part of again, and where you're not getting judged, or shamed, or guilted at, for for you trying, right? It's not that you fail; it's you fell short. It's like you're going up a ladder and one of the rings fell, and you just got to rebuild that ring to keep going. You never failed anything, and
You just took your first action in learning.
that's it. And I'm proud we got this today.
Thank you so
Jay,
much. We love you. We think you're amazing. I'm so glad I got to know you. I would have never met you if it wasn't for you being the brother of my other brother. And we'll
the
be
black sheep.
definitely checking you out. I would love to have you and your what is it, recovery couple,
Yeah,
the two of you
recovery
on.
couple.
Danny, you've got to check that out. You're going to laugh, cry at the same moment. This guy doesn't
love
stop,
it.
and I sometimes feel so sorry for Ashley.
We also have a really good show next week. Laura Parent, she's going to be talking about reprogramming after addiction. So I think that'll be a really interesting show. And we thank you for joining us again, Jay. You too, Chris. And hopefully we'll see you next week. And thanks to all of our guests.
God bless everyone.